I have been summoned. Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Raito Sensei back here with another video for you guys. And today I want to talk about a specific game that I love from the bottom of my heart because a few videos ago did say that the content was going to change drastically here on this channel, and one of the video games that I want to do content on, that I'm already doing content on, I'm already recording and streaming and stuff. I just need to edit all the videos and whatever. Um, it's not even just a video game. It's not even just one video game. It's the entire franchise, to be real with you. And if it's not my number one most favorite, it's definitely top three, or at least top four to top five. Okay, because man, every game is always, every game that they have made, it was always a banger. At the very least, well, they did have one game that didn't come so big, pause. And I'm telling you, they got a new game that's dropping next year, technically in a few months, and I'm definitely buying that shit. But the franchise that I'm talking about is none other than you're damn right. Dynasty Warriors is my most favorite. Well, probably not my most favorite, but it's definitely top three. It's definitely top three of my most favorite gaming franchises of all time. And I don't care what anybody else say. This game is, a little history about the game. At first, it really wasn't a hack and slash game, or it wasn't essentially in the hack and slash genre. At first, the very first Dynasty Warriors game that was ever made, technically it was a fighting game. It was basically like Soul Calibur and Tekken mixed together, if that makes sense. And it became so damn popular at its time, and its right, that the companies and the developers behind the game, they just started to drop more of the damn games, and every other game started to fall suit. Now, I won't lie to you, the people who made this gaming franchise, that also have other gaming franchises that's somewhat similar, well, vastly similar to Dynasty Warriors, but it's still different. But if you ask me, in my opinion, I think one of their most, very liked gaming franchises is Dynasty Warriors. Now, don't worry, I know some of you, or probably a lot of you, has never heard of this title before, but I'll explain it to you. I'll do a quick rundown of what it is. Now, I will say this. Now, there are also a lot of other successful games out there that has this same iteration of Dynasty Warriors, and one example of it that it kind of came out recently. It didn't come out not too long ago, but it's called Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I have played the game before. It is very good and very amazing. I never got to finish the game yet, but it is very amazing. But basically, what the franchise is about is basically the history of the three kingdoms of Jing province in ancient China. It's also about, some of the most iconic historical battles in ancient China, Jing province, how the three kingdoms were created and how the three kingdoms ended. Now, I want to say that the majority of the game is historically accurate, but I don't think I can say that, because I've been in conversations about the game before, and some people will say that all of it is historically accurate, but some people will also say that some of it is not. So we'll just on the safe side, is historically accurate. Well, I'll say a vast amount of it. Let's just put it like that. Because I'm certain that not all of it is historically accurate, because there are characters in the game who are portrayed differently, very differently from their historical counterparts. Speaking of characters, man, I gotta say, without a doubt, Dynasty Warriors has one of the biggest rosters in any game. Now, I can't say it has the biggest roster, because Spark and Zero beats the game by that, but yeah. In total, the most recent game that they have now, I can't say most recent because that game has been out for like what 6 or 7 years. I don't know. Now, before I tell you, before I tell you the numbers, because I'm about to get a little bit aggressive and get a little bit loud because I'm excited to explain this damn game. But the game has 90 characters. Okay, that's his last. That's the recent game that they have now. You know, the one that's out like. You know, the one that's younger than all of the other games that they have, right? Shit has 90 characters, all right? That's a lot, okay? That is a lot. That's half of Sparking Zero's roster. And Sparking Zero has 182. That's a lot. Now, what I'm about to say, it is not an understatement at all. Like, I'm not over exaggerating this shit. The games that you see, some of the games that you usually see, like what's the most common? Like when you hear the word fighting genre, right? What comes to your mind, right? Most of the time, like you would think Mortal Kombat and Tekken, right? Yeah, their roster don't even come close to that. All right. Now I'm not shitting on Mortal Kombat or Tekken because I love those games too because both of their franchises are actually in my top 5. But yeah, yeah. Dynasty Warriors has a big ass roster, all right? A very, very big ass roster. Now, what is the story like, you may ask, or what is the lore like? It's basically, you know, it's like I said, it's based off the history of the 3 kingdoms of Qing province of ancient China, how it began, and how it ended. And you know, there's also certain events that, you know, it aligns with, you know, the core story of the 3 kingdoms. So yeah, but here's some examples of like the historical events that you know they portray in the game. You know, say for instance the Yellow Turban Rebellion. You know, that's where a lot of the characters start from. Well, I won't say a lot of the characters, but like I'll say like 1/3 of the roster. That's where everybody starts at. That's where, you know, that's where a lot of the games start from Yellow Turban Rebellion. And then on to the next is like, you know, the alliance against Dongzhuo. All of this actually happened apparently. Now I'm saying apparently because like I said, you know, it may not be 100% historically accurate, okay? Now, aside from that, the story is so damn fun to experience. It is very fun to experience. Now, I can't say much because I don't want to spoil it for you guys because I would like for you guys to check the game out yourself. Now, like I said, there are other games that have their own iteration of that, you know, that point in history, right? So maybe I can spoil a little bit for you guys, tell you a little bit to spoil you a little bit, but I can't spoil too much for you, all right? Now, back to the characters. The reason why I want to get back to that because the characters play a vast, very, very big role in the story mode. Because without those characters, now like I said before, these characters are actual historical figures, okay? Some of them may not be as big as some of the other ones, but they have played a part in that history, okay? Every character that you will be able to play, or that whatever character that you come across, including the generic characters, you know, because a lot of times, well, every game there are, you know, characters that are not playable, and you know they probably wear the same attire as every other generic or boss that you see in the game. But even those they have a name. Even those, their names, their history, the entire shit is history. So like as I was saying, you know, every character, you know, is historical. They're all, most of them, or I can't say most of them, essentially all of them are historical figures. Every character that you come across, or every character that you will be able to play in the game, they all align with each other, okay? They all align with each other in some way or at some point in history in the game. Yeah. And that's another reason why I love this game so much, because the whole thing is so much history turned into a novel, turned into a fucking gaming franchise. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. Now I'm gonna assume that some of you guys are like, you know, how come I never heard of this series before or this franchise before? Well, chances are some of you guys probably haven't, and I understand that. But I will tell you this though. don't get it twisted. The history, the same history and the same historical figures that you see in this game, they are very influential, and I'll tell you why. Check this out. I'm about to do something with you guys. I'm about to give you a list of names. I'm gonna give you a couple names, maybe a few, and I'm gonna show you a picture of these characters, and you tell me, do they look familiar to you? Watch this. Guan Yu, Zhao Yun, Lu Bu. You know what? I can just keep those three. I can just keep it at those three. Because these three are the most influential. Now I say that you gotta be fucking kidding me. Now I say that they're the most influential because a lot of times, you know, you play a game and chances are you may have seen something similar to these three before, like whether it's, you know, the weapons or whether it's like the costume. It's very similar to these three, if not very identical. Now I gotta hurry up and wrap this video up because it's already 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna, you know, stop at that and go on to the next thing about this game. Nostalgia. Okay, the events and the things that happen in this game are so damn iconic. Like the shit never dies with this game. Okay, there's this one phrase that people remember from almost every Dynasty Warrior game or Dynasty Warrior iteration, and that's "Do not pursue Lu Bu." I kid you not, that shit is scary, but at the same time it's not scary because nobody cares. Because the first time, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's like that. Because the first time, all right, the first time you play, you know, I'll put it like this: the first Dynasty Warriors game I played was Dynasty Warriors 4, and it's my most favorite because it's the first one I played and it's the most memorable. It's one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable in the community. And I'll tell you, you know, you play the game and they tell you off rip, do not pursue Lu Bu. Now me, first time playing, all right, and I was doing fine long before I came across Lu Bu, and I'm like, you know what, man, I ain't scared of this nigga, man. He can't hold me. I come across this nigga, I get hit in like 3 hits. I'm like, hey yo, what? I have never, I tell you, I have never in any game come across a boss where he hits you in like 3 or 2 hits, okay? Now that may be saying a lot because I have played a lot of games where the boss is no damn joke. But this guy, he might be the very first boss that I ever fought in any game that has bodied me like that. Like, I don't think y'all understand how iconic and influential Lu Bu or the character itself is. Like, nigga, the game literally tells you, like the game itself tells you, do not fuck with this nigga. they literally tell you, bruh, this man is like that. He is really like that. Like, and you and us as the players, we don't listen, so we gotta suffer. Matter of fact, I'm finna add another layer to the cake. Like, I knew the developers were cooking when they made DW4 Lu Bu, but I really want to know whose idea was it to animate this shit. That is so terrifying to encounter. Like, nigga, what the hell? How do you, what do you do after that? Like nigga, oh my mama, stay on the fucking ground. Don't get up. What made me love this specific Dynasty Warriors game so much is because during the time I couldn't afford a memory card. This was on PlayStation 2. I didn't have the memory card. I had the PS2, but I didn't have the card. So every move that I made, everything that I had did in the game, it was precise. I could not fuck up, or else I had to start all over again. So the first time I encountered Lu Bu, okay, when he hit me with that shit, bro, on my mama, I was, you know, I wasn't mad, but I was hyped. I was hyped, bro. How you get hyped? How you get hyped from getting your ass beaten, like, in the craziest way possible? In my head, I was like, wow, this is what the game is offering? hey, I like this shit. What the hell? Okay, I'm fucking with what y'all got. I'm gonna stick with y'all. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end the video here. It's already too long, but I'm going to do a part 2 on this because overall, once I'm finished with all of this shit telling you about how much I love the game, I'm gonna tell you about the content that I'm recording, that I'm doing, whatever. I'm gonna tell you about the content that I want to post when it comes to the DW franchise. And the reason why I'm saying that now, because it's not just one game. I mean, the game itself, I mean the franchise itself, it has multiple iterations and multiple games, spin-offs or whatever. So we gotta talk about that once we're finished with all this. But other than that, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all getting to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, comment if you heard about the game before, or if you played it before and did you enjoy it or whatever. Other than that, yeah, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.